right, what time is it, Overlord?
It is story time.
Yes, most definitely it is, folks. We got a Walt Disney Cinderella today for story time. You know how this goes. This is where I pick one of my childhood books, especially the Walt Disney Wonderful World of Reading. I just can't get that out. And this one's Cinderella. These are books that my mom or my dad read to me. I think my mom mainly, but I have to ask him next time I see him. Read me these when I was a wee tot. And yeah, so we're going to get... Pretty much. And we're going to go through these again and just kind of reflect and do our own commentary on it. And here we got Cinderella on the cover with some little birds, little blue jays, and some mice. And there's Fat Gus Gus, who always tries to carry too much. And that reminds me of myself, because a lot of times at the grocery store or wherever, I'm trying to carry too many things and end up dropping them. Just like his fat ass. But yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here's the opening pages where you see there's Gus Gus with a bunch of beads. I don't know all the mice, all the name of the mice, but they're working on, I guess, a dress for her and stuff like that and all that.
Two I remember is like the little chubby one, and then there's the one with like the little red coat and stuff.
Yeah, there's one with the red coat, and there's one with the blue coat, and there's one that kind of looks stupid. It's got a blue coat, and he looks kind of stupid with a hat, but they got hats and stuff, but yeah. All right, and here we go. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother. The stepmother did not like Cinderella. She made her work very hard every day.
Her stepmother is also Maleficent, so nightmare fuel.
So with the old white lady?
Yeah, it's the same voice actress as Maleficent, so yeah.
Okay.
Give you guys an idea of that craziness.
Okay. Cinderella had two stepsisters. Their names were Drizella and Anastasia.
You could use Don Bluth film with the same name.
The stepsisters never had to work. They just pranced around the house in their fancy dresses, and they always made fun of Cinderella because her dress was so plain. One day, a letter came to the house. Drizella, Anastasia, cried the stepmother. Listen to this. She read the letter. It said, the king is giving a ball tonight. His son, the prince, will choose a wife. Every girl in the kingdom must be there. So this is kind of like a pre-bachelorette type thing going in that show or whatever.
I like how your dress is so plain. That's like the Arthurian version of basic bitch.
Pretty much. But Cinderella looks better than both of these ladies, because when I was little, if we just get up close, the stepsisters, they really don't look... This one kind of looks like, even though I used to think she was hot, like Flo from Progressive Insurance. This one, she just has got a fart face and looks kind of ugly. And
Anastasia's not bad. I get that.
And here they are again, and yeah, she just... They don't look... I didn't like them. I didn't like them when I was little, when my mom read me this book.
Their salty attitudes.
I didn't like them.
Really makes them ugly.
But in life, you kind of end up with ladies like this every once in a while, and for the rest of your life. So yeah, it happens. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Okay. Then I can go too, said Cinderella. You, cried the stepsisters, and they laughed and laughed. But it says every girl in the kingdom must be there, said Cinderella. And here they are again, looking really ugly. Like, I really didn't like these girls in this book. But this is kind of, but then again, too, this is kind of what you end up with in life. Whether some of these ladies...
In other words, the moral of this story is lower your expectations.
Or keep them high, because you don't want to end up with these ladies, but sometimes that happens. But anyways, the stepmother smiled and said, of course you may go, Cinderella. You may go if you do your work first, and if you have a dress to wear. Oh, thank you, said Cinderella, and she ran up to her room. Once again, Cinderella looking plain, but a lot prettier than these two hags. So, yeah, or three. Anyways, some mice lived in Cinderella's room. They were Cinderella's friends. She had even made little clothes for them. Guess what, she cried. I'm going to the ball at the palace. Hooray, cried the mice. Then she showed them an old dress. It just needs a little mending, said Cinderella, and maybe a sash. and some beads to make it pretty. Yes, yes, Cinderella, said the mice. Cinderella, called the stepmother. Cinderella went downstairs. I want you to clean the floor and wash the windows and dust the drapes, said the stepmother. But I did that yesterday, said Cinderella. Do it again, said the stepmother. Cinderella worked as fast as she could, but there was always one more thing to do. Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella. Oh dear, said Cinderella, I will never have time to mend my dress. She just needs Mickey to get that wizard's hat and do some magic. That would have helped. But once again,
we could have just zapped the evil stepsisters and mother into ashes.
But once again, we got these ugly stepsisters. Man, whew. They make Cinderella work, 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 said the fat mouse named Gus. Oh, I love Gus. She will have no time to fix her dress, said the skinny mouse named Jack. We can do it, cried the mice. We can fix Cinderella's dress. Gus and Jack sneaked into a big room. The stepsisters were dressing for the ball. I hate this old sash, said Drizella, and she threw it down. I never want to see these beads again, said Anastasia, and she dropped them on the floor. Yeah, I really didn't like these women, these stepsisters. When I was little, I would turn the page as fast as I could to get away from them. But like I said, once again, you kind of end up with this in life. Anyways, Jack grabbed the sash. Gus picked up the beads. They took them to Cinderella's room. Look, we found these, said Gus. Now we can make Cinderella's dress really pretty, said Jack. They measured, they cut, they folded, they sewed. They worked and worked as fast as they could. The hours went by quickly. Cinderella had to help the stepsisters with their dresses. When she was done, the stepmother said, "It is time to go to the ball, girls. Are you ready, Cinderella?" "No," said Cinderella sadly. "I did not have any time to fix my dress." Ah, look at them again. Ah, they're just so, ugh. Anyways, OG thoughts. Anyways, too bad, said the stepsisters. You must learn to work faster, said the stepmother. They watched Cinderella go up to her room. Oh, God. Makes me mad. You know what's crazy is you know what's crazy is that I marked out the ginger kid or the ginger lady in the other books and stuff, but I didn't mark them out. Was I just so scared of them that I didn't even bother to mark their faces out?
You're too much of a chicken and put big old X's on them. Like
yeah, look at them. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. I just think the page had to be turned so fast just to get away from them. Anyways, when Cinderella opened the door, she saw something wonderful. Her dress was ready. "Surprise!" cried the mice. "It is the prettiest dress I have ever seen," said Cinderella, and she put it on. Cinderella ran downstairs. "Wait," she called. "I can go now. I have a dress." The stepmother and the stepsisters could not believe their eyes. And that's not a shabby dress. I do have to say, though, I don't know, the stepsisters do have a lot of junk in their trunk. So does the stepmom. Not bad. Anyways, "My sash," cried Drizella. "My beads," cried Anastasia. They ripped off the sash and they pulled off the beads. They're greedy. They didn't even want those to begin with. Anyway, that's not in here, but I'm just saying that. But anyways, and pulled off the beads. Cinderella's dress was ruined. Look at them. Look. Oh, that's so horrible. Once again, you end up with that in life sometimes. Anyways, "Come along, girls," said the stepmother. "The prince is waiting for you." And off they went to the palace. Cinderella was left behind. Oh, God. This stews my bacon.
That dress in the movie was supposedly her birth mother's dress, too, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's dank. Cinderella ran into the garden. The mice ran after her. "How I did wish to go to the ball," said Cinderella. "But it is no use. Wishes never come true." "Never, my dear," said a voice. Cinderella looked up. There was a little woman with a wand. "I'm your fairy godmother," she said. "I am here to give you your wish."
It's probably the best character in the movie, her and the evil stepmother. Probably the two best characters in all movie.
"Now let me see," said the fairy godmother. "I need a pumpkin and a horse and a dog." "What luck! They are right here. And yes, I will need some mice." When the mice heard this, they began to run. But the fairy godmother stopped them with her wand. And I don't like that magic. "Now for the magic words," she said. "Bibbidi bibbidi boo, bibbidi bobbidi boo." Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I was gonna
Not to be confused with Black Magic Knight.
All right. She waved her wand. The pumpkin turned into a coach. The horse turned into a coachman. The dog turned into a footman. A little dude right there. A little guy. Anyways. And the mice turned into white horses. Now hop in, my dear, said the fairy godmother. But my dress, said Cinderella. Oh my, cried the fairy godmother. I almost forgot. She waved her wand again. Cinderella looked down. Her dress turned into a white gown. Her shoes turned into glass slippers. Oh, thank you, said Cinderella. Now hop into the coach, said the fairy godmother. But remember, all the magic ends when the clock strikes 12. I won't forget, said Cinderella, and off she went to the palace.
And that's the last we'll ever see of the fairy godmother ever again. Unless watch those crappy sequels, then, you know.
At the ball, well, I guess the fairy godmother now is like a man, or I don't know, or something. Anyways, at the ball, the king was complaining. The prince has met all the girls in the kingdom. He said, the prince has met all the girls in the kingdom, he said, and he has not found one he likes. Give him time, said the Grand Duke. He has had enough time, cried the king. Just then Cinderella came into the ballroom.
Sounds like me, very picky.
When the prince saw her, he bowed. May I have a dance, he said, or he asked. Yes, said Cinderella.
I'm going to pick the one that looks like it wasn't hit by a truck.
All night the prince danced only with Cinderella. They danced around the floor as if in a dream. Everyone said, how lovely she is. Who can she be?
I swear, here's my point of contention here. That's just like Clark Kent taking off his glasses and turning into Superman. People like, who is that? She literally just has different clothes on. Her face is the same. It's not covered or anything.
Well, her hair's up. She got an updo. Yeah, you know.
I'm just like, bro, how stupid were people?
Pretty stupid. Just probably, I think people now are a little bit more stupider. Anyways, the hours went by quickly. Suddenly, the clock began to strike midnight. Cinderella ran down the palace steps. As she ran, she lost a glass slipper. When the prince reached the steps, Cinderella was gone. He picked up the tiny glass slipper. The girl who wore the slipper is the girl I want to marry, said the prince. The girl who wore this slipper is the girl I want to marry, said the prince. He told the Grand Duke to find her. Grand Duke's funny. All right.
Grand Duke's Mr. Brian.
Yeah, no doubt. Even before Cinderella was home, the magic ended. The coach turned back into a pumpkin. The coachman turned back into a horse. And the footman turned back into a dog. And there were Cinderella and the mice just as before. The next day, the Grand Duke took the glass slipper to every house in the kingdom. At last, he came to the house where Cinderella lived. Cinderella was up in her room. First, Drizella tried the slipper. Her foot was much too long. That's pretty funny. If you look at her foot, you can see her socker. It's like a big old long, weird, funky foot. That's funny. Then Anastasia tried the slipper. Her foot was much too wide. Are there any other girls in this house? Asked the Grand Duke. No, said the stepmother. Just then Cinderella came down the stairs. Who is this? Asked the Grand Duke. She is only the maid, said the stepmother. I don't care, said the Grand Duke. She too must try on the slipper. It fit perfectly.
Now, in the movie, the slipper got broke, but Cinderella had the other slipper still.
Nah. It was a little different, this version. Then Cinderella reached into her pocket and pulled out the glass slipper. The Grand Duke bowed to Cinderella. You are the girl the prince says he must marry, said the Grand Duke. So Cinderella went to the palace and married the prince, and they lived happily ever after. You can see the stepsisters all like raising their arms up there, not stoked. But that's what they get. That's exactly what they get.
Get for being a bitch.
Yep, that's what they get. Anyways, but yeah, this is a good book. You can see it. It's been kind of worn. It's the one out of all my books. It's it had some mileage on it. I don't know how that happened, but you know.
Not to mention, Cinderella is kind of like Batman. Both her parents are dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's kind of dank. But then again, that's Disney for you. When you wish upon a star, your parents died.
Yeah, the old school Disney is pretty hardcore, pretty dark. And once again, the stepsisters in this book scared the hell out of me when I was little. So, you know, we revisit it now, and it's they don't frighten me anymore. I kind of want to get a tattoo of them on my arm. I think that'd be kind of funny.
I kind of want Super 7 to make figures of them so I can have like Lady Death and Angela be like, bitch.
That would be pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind that. Super 7's listening. With they're probably not. That'd be cool. But anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. We know that Storytime doesn't get much traction on the channel, and that only makes us want to do these even more. We've got a bunch of more books to go through. We're going to keep doing it, and then after that, we're going to do even more books. So every week,
the less people who watch this, the more we can get away with those. So there is a silver lining with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But the thing is, if it's only getting 30 views per video, that just makes me want to keep doing it more. So we're just going to keep doing it. We're just going to just ram it into the ground. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. This has been T-Biz and
Overlord Productions here. Yes.
Signing out. Laters.
Later.